Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, November 30th, 2016, and it's time to go to work on music. Today's been a little strange, a little bit unusual. I had a social commitment earlier that I made, and honestly, it probably would have been a good idea to avoid that. It ended up going over by like an hour and a half, and actually 2 hours. It went over by 2 hours. That's not good. Can't let that happen. Um, But it's so easy in the moment, it's so easy in the moment to just keep doing whatever you're doing, and that's just the nature of things, right? Law of momentum, things want to keep doing whatever they're doing. So it's so easy to shoot ourselves in the foot, even with the stuff that's the most important to us in our lives, and it just blows my mind, man. But I'm into the grind now. I've been working through this great Steve Vai interview from Musicians Institutes on YouTube, um, just taking notes, and I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the Vi Academy guitar camp that's in the first week of next year. And it's expensive. I'm sure a lot of people would like to go to those camps, and I think they price a lot of people out. Um, I could make it work financially. I mean, I don't want to spend that much on it, but at the same time, I'm trying to weigh like, um, if the return or if the payoff, if the upside outweighs the downside, then it should be a no-brainer, right? But I'm not sure if they're going to give me $2,000 worth of value out of this thing. That's my concern. I mean, I'm fine spending that if it's really going to be that valuable. Like if I'm going to learn stuff that's going to, be able to help me write music where I can make that money back or something like that, then it makes a lot of sense to me. But I wonder about these camps because they're sort of like clinics, but then they're also like fan experiences all rolled into one, and I really don't like that. I think I'm in a different category where like I am a fan. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like I'm there to learn and to study, and so I don't necessarily need a picture with the artist. Like that's cool. I'm sure that's like awesome, and it's fun to post that stuff. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I don't need that. I want to improve. But I guess they're just trying to make it exciting and appeal to a wide variety of people, and that's fair. It's not a school setting, so I'm not sure about that. Um, but I'll make a decision and I'll let you guys know. And if I go, I probably will vlog it, so that would be cool. Anyway, worst comes to worst, it would be I'm gonna have that week to work on music one way or the other, which I'm excited about. So let's get to work today. The main goals today are doing some online classwork, doing some guitar work, and then finishing this show. This show has to be finished, and we're gonna do it. So here we go. All right. I'm admittedly not doing so great on the time management front right now, but doing some research on Audio Slave, doing some research on Soundgarden, which is of course Chris Cornell's original band for Audio Slave, and just reading about the time horizon that it takes, even for great bands who are recognized from the beginning, bands who are selected and bred by the existing music business system at the time. I mean, it was 10 years between when they sort of originally formed that band in 1984 until 1994 when they released Super Unknown, which was their fourth record after tons of touring. And they said that they spent a lot more time on recording it, which is really interesting, and they were more adventurous with their songwriting and gave themselves a little more leeway, which I thought was really interesting. And it's just cool to read about like the ideas behind what artists did on their successful projects. Like in that Steve Vai interview, he was talking about how he had a lot of success playing in other people's bands, like Frank Zappa's band and David Lee Roth's band, but also that he felt that he really needed to do Passion and Warfare, which was his first successful solo album, I think. Um, and that he didn't think it was going to be a commercial success, and he didn't even care about that. He thought it was just going to be his own little thing that he was going to do, and it was going to be his treasure, and then he would go off and keep doing his career. And then, of course, that's the thing that ended up being super successful. So it's just making me think about like trying to get out of my own way and just try to make stuff that resonates with me. You know, just make stuff that's honest, and you just never know what's going to resonate with other people. I think at the end of the day, my job as an artist is just to be as honest as possible and tell the truth as much as I possibly can for myself. And that just has to be enough, you know, regardless of the results externally. So yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to get into some guitar practice and get into working on this song. Okay, feeling the burn, honestly, at this point in the session, but had a snack, took a break, about to finish strong here. So let's get it done, guys. Alright, wrapping up the session, and definitely saved it at the end. Almost a total disaster today, and being honest, it was not even close to as good as it could have been. But what I've realized over time is, you know, success in any endeavor, I think, is not really about avoiding mistakes. I think it's about once you make a mistake, you get back on track as quickly as possible and you clean it up, you're honest with yourself, you have a way of tracking those mistakes. That's huge. A lot of people just make mistakes and they think, oh, I won't do that again. I started a note in my phone where I keep track of every mistake I make, whether it's time management or relationship management or anything like that. And I do my best to never make the same mistake twice. Now, that's hard to do, but it is a worthy endeavor, let me tell you, because it's the small things that you do differently than other people that set you apart. It's the sum of all those little things. All those little things really add up at the end of the day. And that's what makes you look at, you know, places like the NBA where everyone's like physically almost on the same level and skill wise almost on the same level, but then there's these stars, these people who are just somehow 10 times better than all these other people who are such elite athletes. And you realize they just do these little things better. You know, they play the mental game better, they practice just a tiny bit better, but then you compound that over time, and all of a sudden their skills and their performance is 10 times better than someone else. So I always try to capture that myself, and you know, I got to be proud of myself for today, getting back on track when the going was tough. Now, it's not an excuse to slip, so I'm going to be back on it tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure I get a good session in. I did not finish the song today, so in that sense, it was a failure, but I did get some good work done on it. I was surprised by how well I remembered the riffs and the parts. I got some good pre-recorded sketch parts down, which I'm happy about. And overall, my workflow speed and efficiency is increasing, but it's increasing slowly. So I'm okay with that as long as it's getting better. The main thing is not interrupting the music time. It's keeping that time sacred. It has to be like a job for me. I'm not late for work. Like if I go into work, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to get there on time. Like end conversations, reschedule meetings. Music time for me has to be that. Otherwise, I'd say, oh, I've got plenty of time. I'll get to that later. Oh, I can handle this personal thing real quick, and then I'll jump into it. No, no more of that. The music time is sacred, and I'll schedule those other things in when I have time, because honestly, they're not as important. Now, sometimes stuff comes up that's more important than work, and you deal with that. But I think too often, especially artists are guilty of this, but all people, all professionals, we sometimes compromise when we shouldn't, and that is a mistake, and that's a mistake that's worth learning from. So that's my big takeaway for today. Hope you guys are out there grinding towards your vision of success and perfection, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.